Hey everyone, the new film Neja 2 is out in theaters, and this is honestly the Chinese phenomena, raising over $2 billion globally, which is a fraction of that coming from the United States. And now the film is in the United States in English for you to see. And I just had to go see it this weekend. So is this a film for you? Is this something you need to watch? Is this something you need to watch in the theaters? These are all questions that you really need to ask yourself with this review or anyone else's review that you look at for this particular film. So, Neja 2 is basically the story of Neja, the demon orb, and his counterpart out being the spirit pearl. And together, they are kind of continuing the story from the original film Neja that came out, I think it was in 2019. And so the first thing you need to know right off the bat is that, yes, this is a part two. And no, you don't need to see the first film. They actually do a really good job of stepping you through what's gone on in the past film so that you are not lost in the second film. And so, who cares? If you haven't seen the first film, not a big deal. You're not going to get lost. They're going to step you through it. You're going to get to know who all the characters are. You're going to get to know what the conflicts are and what they need to do to kind of, don't want to give things away, to achieve the final goal, let's just say, for this particular film. So, really, the sequel starts out kind of in this aftermath of Neja's sacrifice. And, he's now a spirit, along with Al being also being a spirit. And they need to reconstitute their bodies. And so that's kind of the opening of the film is how do they become physical forms again? And so we see these boys kind of take form again. And it happens just at the time where some other really bad things happen, let's just say, that kind of puts Neja's homeland in danger. So the heart of this film is really the two boys having to work together in order to complete a couple tasks, in order to achieve a certain goal, so that they can get a certain thing in order to restore their places in the world, let's just say, and to keep everybody's homeland safe and secure. So that's kind of the gist of it. And I know that that is very, very vague. But part of the reason I want to be vague here is because I want you to enjoy this film. I want you to experience the story with all of the surprises intact and all of the conflicts and all of the characters who surprise you doing things that they do so that things kind of unravel in the way that will be very pleasing in the theater. So that's basically where the story kicks off. And the thing that really just surprised me about this film was how well constructed the story is. You get strong characters, you get very definitive characters in Neza and Ao Bing, and then all of the periphery characters as well, including the villain. And they're all deeply constructed. You know who they are. They are very strong with their personalities and their goals. And you just get a sense of who they are right away. There's like no worries about who they are, what they want, what they need. And then we have the story itself, along with the conflicts, the narrative arc, and all of the things that they have to tackle, the shifting alliances, the twists and the turns. It is so smartly done. This story, it kind of puts to shame a lot of the films that we've been seeing in the American theaters lately, because not only do you have these well-constructed characters, they have a plot that is really compelling, that really speaks to you, whether you're a kid or whether you're an adult, whether you're a boy or a girl, you're going to enjoy this story because it's all about, like a different version of the hero's journey, but from a Chinese mythological perspective, because Neza is actually from Chinese mythology, but for narrative purposes, they've added Ao Bing and the Spirit Pearl into the structure so that there are now these two boys kind of going up against each other or teaming up or going against the villains in order to achieve the goal. And there's always some kind of push pull, some kind of conflict for them to either be fighting against or fighting with. And there is love. There is, when I mean love, I don't mean romantic love. I mean family love. Family is very, very important in this film. There is trust. There is doing the right thing. There is challenging the narrative of what is expected of you and what the social norms are that are kind of set in place that you just arbitrarily think are right and good. And then you realize that that is not the case. If there's no place, like Neza says at one point, if there's no place for me in this world, then I will rebuild this world. And in so doing, it's all about making a world where everyone has a place, where there's an identity that all people can have. And it's just a really beautiful message. I mean, everything about this film is gorgeous, from the plot, the character development, the narrative structure. But honestly, all of that takes second place to the visual aspects of the film. It is gorgeous, beyond gorgeous. It is, yes, an animated film. Yes, you might want to call it a cartoon. Yes, there are kids in it. But this is a children's movie and an adult's movie simultaneously. So if you have little kids, if you have teenagers, if you have adult friends, if you have parents who enjoy science fiction and fantasy and mythology or animation, and when I say animation, I mean top tier animation that uses CGI, AI, and just this, I don't know, this magical bag of technology tricks that create a realistic, lifelike experience made of color and sound and shape on the screen. This film is why modern cinemas were created. Whether you're in Dolby, whether you're in IMAX, you are going to get a treat. It is, even if you're not completely keen on the story or the structure, some of the narrative stuff isn't your bag of tricks, the visual aspects of this will absolutely sweep you away. It is amazing to look at. And I gotta say, like, I don't think I've ever seen a film as visually striking as Neza 2. Whatever problems it has with character development, pacing, narrative structure, all of that is kind of swept away by just how beautiful this film is. And the thing is, all those other parts of the movie are great. I mean, there is nothing really to complain about other than maybe the length of the film. It's a really long one. It's about 2.5 hours. So you really do need to sit down and be ready for this movie. And I think that's really the longest thing. But even still, there were some parts where you're like, okay, they could speed this up a little, or they could speed that up a little, or maybe they could have cut a little scene here or cut a little scene there. But none of it impacts the story. None of it impacts the quality of the characters or the actual narrative arc that is happening within this film. And so, because of that, and because the visuals are just so beautiful, you don't care. You don't care about the length of this movie. And you might even find yourself wanting to go back and see it again. This is one of those movies that you may well want to see twice in the big screen, because if you wait for it on streaming, you're just not going to get the impact. You're not going to get why this movie is a juggernaut within the cinema, within the global cinema. This is a movie you want to see on the big screen in whatever theater you can get to. If it's showing at your local cinema, go see this film. If you at all enjoy animation, science fiction, fantasy, mythological films, um, anything like that, it's gorgeous. It's a lot of fun. And I think I've just kind of given away the whole bag here. Like, is this film ticket worthy? 100%. I don't even doubt it. I don't even want to like drag it out. This is a movie I want you to go see because I want to talk to you about it. And it is in English, it's not dubbed. That's the beauty of animation is you can easily have voice actors who speak English and you don't even notice it. It's seamless. It's beautiful, gorgeous, gorgeous. So yes, is this a film you want to go see? I would highly recommend it. If you go see it, I want you to come back here. I want you to talk with me about it. I don't want to put anything spoilerish in this review. This is just me kind of raving about this film. That's not really what a reviewer is supposed to do. But honestly, that's all I have to say about this movie. I had a fantastic time at the cinema watching Neza 2, and I think you will too. I mean, most of the people on my list here I think would end up enjoying it. Again, it is not a children's movie, but it is for kids. It is not an adult movie, but it is for adults. It's literally for anyone who's looking for a good movie and a fun time, who enjoys science fiction and fantasy and animation. Let's just say for comparison, if you like Pixar, this is easily better than any Pixar movie I have ever seen. There are some scenes in here that are visual masterpieces of art, of moving art on the screen. There were moments where I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen. I couldn't even blink because I wanted to see every image, every moment of this movie. So, yes, loved I loved it. They did such a good job. All right, that's all I have for you. My raving, ranting wonderfulness of this film is over. Let me know what you're thinking. And I might end up coming back to this to do more of a spoiler review for Nazad 2 because I really do want to talk about the story on a much deeper level, as well as the technology and some of the things that we get in this movie that we don't see a lot of in cinema today. And so I might do that. I'm just heading off to a funeral. So going to be busy for a few days. So we'll see what I can do. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I will see you all again soon. While you're here, please do give this review a thumbs up, subscribe, and definitely, if you do nothing else, share this review with a friend and go see this film because I think you're really going to like it. And I rarely tell people to go see a film because I want you to decide for yourself. But I'm just so excited about this movie and I really want to talk to you about it. So, all right, let's go down to the comments. I will chat with you there. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day. Thank you again for everything. You guys are the best. Bye.